Hello everyone, welcome to Vista's Learning. Hope you all are doing good. This is Linda here and I am your EVS educator for class 4. If you're visiting our channel for the very first time, let me tell you something about Vista's Learning. Vista's Learning is an online platform that gives quality education for all of you. So, if you don't understand any part in your subjects or chapters or units, do review our videos so that you will get better understanding on your subjects. And if you like our videos, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and also click on to the bell icon so that you do not miss any of our further videos. Alright, so children, let's begin with today's class. In today's class, we will be doing chapter 16, okay? And the name of the chapter is called A Busy Month. Okay, it's called A Busy Month. Okay, let's see what this chapter is all about. Bal Mandir, Bhavnagar, 13th April 1936. Okay, this was maybe written around this time in this particular place. Okay, dear children, it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There are no clouds in the sky. The sun is burning hot. The sparrows, doves and sunbirds have started working in pairs as they separate to make their nest. Some of the birds have already made their nests. In some of the nests, the egg have hatched. In some of the nests, the egg have hatched and the parent bird are busy feeding the chicks with different kinds of insects and other things. In our courtyard also there is a baby dove. There is another egg in the nest, but it has not hatched yet. Okay, so it's talking about how in the afternoon around 3 o'clock in the afternoon what happens. There are no clouds in the sky. Okay, there is no clouds, but the sun is burning very, very hot. Okay, during this time, the sparrows, the doves, the sunbirds all started working in pairs. Okay, they all started working in the pairs to make the nest. Okay, and what happened? Even some of the nest you can find some of the eggs that are hatched. It says. Okay, and the parent birds are actually busy, feeding the little ones, in different kinds of insects, bringing all the different kinds of insects, and they're feeding the little birds. Okay, and in our courtyard also there's a baby dove. Okay, there is another egg in the nest, but it has not yet hatched. Okay, so even in the courtyard there is a small little bird. Okay, and also there's a egg, but it's not yet hatched. Okay, let's read. On the way to Gopal Bai's house, there are many stones along the roadside. Okay, so there's a person called Gopal Bai. Okay, so this person is writing that on the way to Gopal Bai's house, there are many stones along the roadside. Okay, there are a lot of stones. In the space between these stones, an Indian robin has laid its eggs. Indian robin is one of the bird. If you see that picture, okay, that bird is called Indian robin. Okay, so in between these stones, the Indian robin, that bird has laid its egg. Okay, I looked through the binoculars and I saw that the nest was made of grass. Okay, on top of there were soft twigs, roots, wool, hair and cotton wool. Okay, so when this person actually used the binocular and saw, that person actually saw that, the nest was actually made of grass. And there on top of it were like some kind of twigs, some kind of roots were there, or some wool, some hair, and some kind of cotton wool also was present on the nest. Okay, let's read. This is how the robin makes its nest. What a soft and a cozy home for its chicks. The robin is not like the crow. A crow's nest is made of all kinds of things, even pieces of wire and wood. Okay, so this bird, robin, makes the house for the little ones so beautifully and so soft and so cozy, because lot of cottons, lot of wool are actually very soft, isn't it? So it makes the bed super good and soft for the little one. Okay, it's not like the crow's nest, because in the crow's nest you will find a lot of wires, you will find a lot of wood in it. So they're comparing this bird robin with the crow. Okay, let's move on. I saw a baby bird in the robin's nest. It was sitting with its beak wide open. The mouth was red from inside. Okay, then when he actually observed, he could see that in the robin's nest there was a baby. Okay, and it was sitting with its beak open. Okay, the beak was open. Maybe it's waiting for the mother to come and feed. Okay, the mouth was actually red in color, so that is a baby. Okay, so make sure you actually observe how the little ones look. Okay, the mouth was red inside, and in a little while the robin flew to the nest and put something in the chick's mouth. The chick's mouth, when it opened the mouth, it put something inside. Maybe a few small insects. By then it was evening. Robin settled down with its chick. What happened after some time? Robin came, brought some insects and put inside the chick's baby's, mouth inside. And after some time it was evening and they all settled down. Okay, let's read. You know that quail sings sweetly. Bluebird that looks there in the picture is a quail bird. Okay, that sings really, really sweetly. Okay, do you know that this bird does not make its own nest? It lays eggs in the crow's nest. The crow hatches them along with its own eggs. What happened? This bird does not have the nest for its own. So where does it hatch eggs? It hatches eggs in the crow's nest. Okay, whenever it has to hatch eggs, just leaves it inside the quail's nest and it hatches eggs along with the crow's babies. Okay, that's how it happens. Let's move on. Do you know what the weaver bird? Do you know about the weaver bird? Okay, so if you would have seen a weaver bird, have you seen? The male weaver bird makes beautiful woven nest. Okay, the picture that I showed you previously is the weaver bird. Okay, weaver bird is really, really beautiful. Okay, children. Okay, the female looks at all the nest and chooses the one that she likes the best and decides in which to lay her eggs. Okay, so the female ones looks everywhere and chooses the one that she likes the best for the little ones to actually lay the eggs. That's so sweet, isn't it? All the birds are so busy these days. Making a nest and laying the eggs is the only first step. Okay, you see the birds are so busy, but laying the eggs and finding the nest is one of the main or the first step for the birds. Okay, it is a difficult task to raise the young ones in the nest, which has been made with so much effort. Birds have many enemies, humans and other animals too. Crows and squirrels, cats and rats, all of them wait for a chance to steal the eggs. Many times they even break the nest. To keep oneself safe from danger, to find food, make the nest, hatch the eggs and raise the chicks safely. All these are the tests for every bird. And see, other birds still sing with joy and spread their wings and fly very freely. Okay, this is a very beautiful poem, isn't it, children? See, it says that these birds have the only great task is to make their nest and protect their little ones, because they put so much of effort and make the nest and make sure the little ones are very safe, because there are so many enemies for this bird. Says there are human beings, some animals like crows, some squirrels, rats and cats are waiting to actually eat these eggs. So they have to be very careful in protecting the little ones, keeping them very, very safely, giving them food and making sure that they find a proper food for them, the eggs are safe. Everything the bird has to look after, because even if these birds are going through so much, but still they happily sing songs and fly away so freely, it says. Isn't it beautiful, children? Yes, it is. So that is all for now. Salam, blessings from your Gijubai. So if you're wondering who actually wrote this chapter, it is given in the end. The person called Gijubai is the one who wrote this letter, who wrote this chapter. Okay, so he writes a very, very beautiful letter of how the birds live and how they live, what's their lifestyle, how they protect, how they hatch eggs, all about certain birds. All right, so this was the chapter. All right, children. Now, some questions time. Okay, how many years ago did Gijubai write this letter? So, The question is, how many years before do you think that Kijubai wrote this letter? The answer is, this letter had been written about 75 years ago. It was a very, very long years ago. If it is 1936, imagine how much long, okay? It was 75 years ago. Find out how old were your grandmother and grandfather at this time. So you have to go and find out how old is your grandmother and grandfather at this time, okay? So it's your time, okay? So just mention that answer based on you finding out, all right? This letter talks about many different birds. How many of these birds have you seen? Okay, this chapter you saw that many birds that we just saw, isn't it? So how many of these birds have you seen? Okay, so if it is just one, or you can just write one. If it is 2, 3 or several, whatever, just mention what have you seen. Okay, next, how many other birds have you seen? Okay, so how many birds have you ever seen? That's the question. So if you have seen several other birds also, some of them sparrows, eagle, whatever, if you could mention some of the birds. If not, you can just say that I've seen several birds. Okay, have you ever seen a bird's nest? Okay, if you have seen a bird's nest, okay, in live, okay, in real, if you have seen them, write a yes. If no, you can write a no. All right. Okay, birds use the nest only to lay their eggs. After the eggs have hatched, the chicks have grown, they leave the nest. Okay, so the birds used to have the little ones in the nest only for a very few days. Okay, so once the eggs are hatched, what happens? The birds had to flee away. Okay, so what happens after once the the egg is hatched and the chicks are a little bit grown, they flew away from the nest. Okay, imagine how it would be if we had to leave our homes as soon as we learned how to walk and talk. So imagine, just like birds, if we had to leave homes, once we learn how to walk and how to talk. Okay, imagine how that situation would actually be. All right, so that is what the author is actually asking us to imagine. Okay, so after they leave their nest, different kinds of birds live at the different places. Some on trees, some near or on water, and some on land. Other animals also have different places where they live. On land, under the land, on in water, on trees. Okay, so what happens after they leave, these kind of birds, they roam around everywhere. Okay, they move to different places. Some lives in water, some some live on the tree or near the water, some on the land. They just fly away everywhere. Okay, and other animals also have different places where they can live. Okay, maybe on land or on the ground or water, on trees, everywhere. Is it, children? So just like these animals can actually live on land or on water or on trees, everywhere. All right, children. So hope you understood the class today. So if you do not understand any part, I would request you to review the video once again so that you will understand it in a more better way. Okay, so in our next class we will be doing chapter 17. Okay, so until then, take care.